Hi. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to use the tallies throughout the day and then how at the end of the day you use the spinner to reward them. The tallies correspond with your class rules. So make sure that you have your class rules memorized. Make sure the kids know them as well, but also post them somewhere where they can see them. So I just have mine above the board. Especially this year, everyone is facing forward at all times, so they'll be able to see them. One of the rules, rule number 2, is talk when you have permission, follow the red green sign. So you want to make sure that your red green sign is also somewhere where they can see it. So raise your hand or talk quietly. And I'm going to show you an example of when you would give a tally mark. I'm going to put my sign on raise your hand. So if they talk without raising their hand, that would be breaking rule number 2, talk when you have permission. So that would justify giving them a tally mark. And you don't give them warnings and say, oh, next time that's going to be a tally. We don't do that. You just give them a tally. Okay. So, for example, you're in the middle of a lesson. Maybe transitions are often a tricky time when rules get broken. So I'm just going to give you a quick example. All right, guys, it's time for math. If you could get out your workbooks and turn to page 30, that would be awesome. Let's see if we can get that done in 10 seconds. Oh, thank you, Callie. Callie's working so quickly and so quietly. Uh-oh, remember, boys and girls, we need to follow rule number 2, talk when you have permission. Oh, good job, James. James has his workbook out. He's ready to go. All right, let's get these done in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so in that scenario, I had kids talking while they were getting their workbooks out. So that's why I said, remember to follow rule number 2, talk when you have permission, and you give them a tally. When you give them a tally, it's better to state which rule they are supposed to follow than to say, don't talk, that's a tally. Instead, you should say, remember to follow this rule, and then give them a tally. So that's how you give them tallies throughout the day. If you have repeat offenders or it's just one kid all the time, that kid needs his own behavior plan, work on some interventions with him. Okay, this is a tier 1 behavior plan. Okay, so this is for the general population. It's not going to work for everyone, but you are still going to do it with your class. Okay, you're always going to have those few kids that need their own thing, their own support. Okay, so anyways, that's how you give tallies. And then at the end of the day, you want to reward the kids for not breaking rules, right? So the less tallies they have, the less rules they broke, and we want to reward them for that. So I'm going to bring you over here. I always put my tallies next to the reward menu, and you're going to work with your class to decide what kind of rewards would work for them, okay? So I don't have a class right now, so I just came up with my own rewards, but you're going to have the rewards posted so they know what they're working for, and you'll have your tallies. And then at the end of the day, right before you go home, as a whole class, you're going to show like, guys, we only got 4 tallies today. That's awesome. And you're going to reward them, or maybe, oh, we got 12 tallies today. That's not our best. I know we can do better, but we still might get a reward. So anyways, you're going to draw a number, and I always keep a 0 in there, and then I always keep a 100 in there. So even if they have a really bad day, there is still a slight chance that they could get a reward. It's not like, once we get 10 tallies, there's no point in even trying anymore because there's no way we're going to get a reward. There's always a chance that they can get a reward. Okay, so I keep my numbers in a little bucket. You can keep them in an envelope or whatever works for you. And I just made a Word document with squares where I just typed numbers in and cut them out. And you're going to determine what numbers are in here based on how many tallies they often get. So at the beginning, just have a range of numbers. And then you'll start noticing like, oh, my kids normally get about 10 tallies a day. We want them to get better, right? So you're going to have some numbers lower than 10, and then you're going to have some numbers around 10. You're not going to have a lot like in the 50s because then they would always be getting rewards, okay? But for today, my kids hypothetically got 4 tallies, so I would draw a number out of here. The number I drew was 19. So in order to get a reward, they have to have less tallies than the number I draw. They had 4 tallies. I drew a 19. 4 is less than 19. So they're going to get a reward. And the reward is based on this and a spinner that corresponds with it. So I'm going to spin it. Whatever it lands on, that's the reward that they're going to get. So I would spin it. It landed on 4, okay? And on my reward chart, a 4 is a sticker. So as they walk out the door, maybe I would give them a sticker after I sanitize my hands. For upper grades, they probably wouldn't be motivated by a sticker. So, like I said, work with your class to figure out what rewards would motivate them. Mystery motivator. That's the one at the bottom. Okay, and it's a mystery, so it could be whatever you want. But I actually have a little envelope. I'm not sure where it is right now. But I have an envelope that says mystery motivator on it. There's not actually anything in it. If they spin mystery motivator, I just come up with it on the spot, or sometimes like I'll let them vote on something. Okay, but there's always going to be a mystery. So there could be one that they don't know about and all of a sudden they get it. Like maybe it's you could wear your hats day, or pajama day or something a little bit bigger, because they don't have a very high chance of getting it because it's a small part of the circle. So like number 5 is what you would most often spin. So anyways, work with your class on what kind of rewards they want. But remember, you don't give if you have like 4 kids talking, you don't give a tally for each of those kids. You just say, remember to follow rule number 2, talk when you have permission, and it's a 1 tally for the whole class. And then praise kids that are following the rules, okay? So you can show examples. All right, I hope that helps.